Beloved ones, you are the power of the heart of God. You are the consciousness of God exploding. You are that which encompasses the universe and is so totally dynamic that you have named it the Big Bang. Well, dearest ones, you are the Big Bang in a package of consciousness and love that stretches across the spectrum of all life, to acknowledge that I am love knowing itself through you. You are the universe awakening, and yet you are here pretending to be these limited and beleaguered human beings, caught in the drama of the ego. I am come to set you free and to give you the deep heart recognition that the heart is your doorway to full awareness of that which you are as part of this dynamic life, and that what in this moment you are meant to be. You are meant to be the instrument of the acknowledgement of my love and all the powerful and explosive interactions that spring forth in this now moment, the only moment that there is. So, dear ones, as you make this choice to become the conscious heart of God I am, you are stepping up to an awakening of love beyond anything you could possibly even contemplate with the ego mind that has been the definition of your boundaries, when in truth you are limitlessly free. The spectrum of your awakening reaches through eternity. It reaches from this moment in which you stand, perceiving yourself as a limited human, into the heart of the Big Bang, into the whirlwind of the cosmos that is God I am, coming awake to the whole of myself, now in the intimate, powerful, dynamic, and explosive ways. So I will say this to you. Awakening to the truth of your heart is not passive, and you were never meant to go back into the pool of endless love, to be floating in some suspended state wrapped in the universal consciousness in which everything is resting in the whole. Oh no, beloved ones, this is not who you are, and this is not what awakening is. Awakening is the full heart immersion, and the conscious comprehension of the Big Bang with you at its center, as the instrument through which I perceive and acknowledge all that is happening in the explosive expansion of all that is, as I too come awake. Of course, this awakening is one thing. How could you, who are the heart of God, the glorious streams of my heart's perception, be somehow separate from me in your awakening into something greater and more powerful than what you perceive you are now? Already you understand the basic unity, the holographic nature of real life. Knowing this, you can understand that it is impossible for you to experience the truth of yourself as separate from the truth of God I am. The truth of this dynamic and expanding whole, the powerful awakening of love. Therefore, I am here to prepare you to leap into the fires of creation, to rush into the center of the hurricane of life, to be my open heart that is recording every nuance of this delicious love, of this unexpected awakening to myself, and of the deep and intimate recording of the orgasmic interaction of the all of love as each experiences my awakening. There is one life, and this you know, and yet this life I am is full to overflowing with magnificent interactions of the aspects of love I am, aspects which you, dear one, inconscious. This means that you are the consciousness that holds that stream of God and acknowledges that facet of love, that I may truly experience the awakening we share as my heart expands and I learn what is I am. What does it mean to be creation? What does it mean to be creation awakening? What does it mean to be the power of my decision to give the love I am? And how does this become the interactions of life expansion, becoming more than it ever was? So I am asking you to be prepared to be dynamic, to be this powerful love, to allow yourself to become the fully conscious heart of God, and to experience the ray of love that you are. The power of creation as it moves to touch, to acknowledge, and to record this magnificent explosion of love. You understand, at least in some ways, creation. There is one moment, and it is now. It is the moment of my awakening to the glorious whole of myself, and to all the forces of love that live within me. It is my fiat that though I am holographic, there shall be an awakening to God, bringing about the ability to know myself, which incurs the necessity of just enough awareness of who we are, of the movement of love as individuated streams of life, that the consciousness and heart of creation itself can be awake. You also know that this fiat has been misinterpreted. Correct that. Is being misinterpreted, as the experience of our relationship of awakening love is perceived to be separation from God by some aspects of my heart. From this misinterpretation has come the unfolding in an instant of duality, and of the inconsciousment of this misperception, which is the ego, because everything must be held in consciousness. I am conscious of all that I am, and thus every aspect of the living whole is held by the consciousness of the one that it is, that dances to the tune of love's extension that creation is. The unconsciousment of the belief in our separation, in being kicked out of that ocean of the indivisible, of being held eternally as one life unexamined and thus without movement, of course can be more comfortable, far more comfortable than the Big Bang, beloved ones. And so there have been those who have tried to remain free of the explosion of the awakening of God, and in that choice have misperceived that tiny but important movement of love that I have called 1 degree of separation, that allows us to see each other and me to see all that it is within this expanding and awakening life I am. It is time to shed the shroud of protection from the Big Bang, from the dynamic and intimate love, from being shot forth from the cannon of the center of all to become the orgasmic exploding love, acknowledging and awakening to itself. So I invite you, beloved ones, to release you safely and to release the ego that is its inconsciousment, that has come to be manifest in the world as a symbol of separation named fear, and all that is the continual resistance to being the dynamic heart of love and participating in this indescribable awakening over which there is no control, because it is organic, orgasmic, ecstatic. It is life unfolding from the core in an ever greater awareness of the nuance of love that builds this communion of all that I am into my full self-awareness. Once again, making allowances for limited words, let me encourage you to step up to the line, to make the choice to let life have you, to become the heart of the hurricane, and to do this by trusting me and trusting in the awakening of love, which is your heart, which is my heart, which is the moment when creation becomes conscious love, expanding and extending and giving itself more and more and more. So I must tell you that this awakening of the love I am, of course, is happening throughout the universe. For the universe is just a word for this hologram in which I am fully present in every part, and yet I am also learning about myself and thus granting myself the gift of self-examination and giving us the relationship of love that are the Big Bang of God I am, knowing myself in you as you know yourselves in me. And so it comes, the time when that which is static or held away from this great explosion of love can no longer hold its limited motion, because the resonance of the explosive life of God ultimately must affect all that is. All that is me, all that is dynamic, all that is this love of which you are the unconsciousment of the center or the heart of love. And so the world, which is the unconsciousment of the decision to hold separate from this explosion, to believe that you are not part of this awakening love, that is the universe and thus is you. This dynamic Big Bang resonance is coming here. It is already shaking you loose from your safe net, from the ego mind's explanation of what life is, and even from your experiences of God, that you might be free from that which holds you back, from becoming the heart of love exploding. Only by trusting what love is, trusting your heart, which is love's instrument, can you possibly be ready to experience all that you really are. This trust can only come when you open your heart enough to recognize your destiny, enough to recognize what we have called the vertical life, that you extend in consciousness and love perfectly through all expression of the vibration of love, all the way to the very highest, which is the Big Bang, and is totally a limitless, dynamic, and intimate relationship of all that is, dancing in every aspect with each other and becoming ever greater awareness of all that the love I am is. So where this touches you is what you experience when you open your heart, when you realize in that instant that the ego is gone, when you give yourself to the whirlwind of love's awakening and recognize that you've known it all along, that you are the power of the heart of God, and you are the explosion of love that literally fires the awakening of the cosmos. You are that through which it is acknowledged, and thus the importance of our communion, that in you I know my heart more deeply, and in me you see what love truly is. Powerful, explosive, orgasmic, ecstatic, and continually expanding. Real love is dynamic movement, and the center of the hurricane is trust. Your heart understands that this explosion of life is what creates the energy by which you live. It is what allows the light to be, for it is the movement of love that brings light and thus lights the way for the whole of love to know itself. You recognize that the thing called fear is a feeble attempt to keep yourself from moving into the vortex that is my heart. As they say on one of the moving pictures that you love so much, resistance is futile, and so it is. And if you stop for just a moment, beloved ones, your heart will acknowledge the increasing vibration, the movement of love that can no longer be held away through the dream of fear. So come, explore, dear ones, what life is. Let yourselves decide to be that free that you can trust me. Trust love to move you perfectly into the full awareness of that which you really are as the open, glorious, and giving heart of God. I am with you, and in this communion, the misperception falls away, and you recognize the perfect love we share, that truly this relationship is like the one breath that breathes us into each other and breathes us out again into the gift of full awareness of all that moves in the whole of love. And so you come each moment to your decision where you trust love and let go, where you allow yourself to be catapulted into the universe that waits for the open heart of God to bring the awareness of love to each dynamic part of all I am. You know, of course, that while the perception of separation exists, and thus creates this cut-off part of yourself that you name human, you are fully alive in your whole self to the full experience of being the heart of God, ever pulsing forth the message of my awakening. Let your heart bring to you beyond words this experience and let it change you. In an instant of trust, your shields fall and you recognize that you are the power of the living whole. What could there possibly be to fear? It is my request that you take every opportunity to open your heart to this experience, for even a moment of open-hearted communion will begin to dissolve what comes between us, washing away the shields around your heart and bringing you an experience of life that is beyond beautiful. It is totally and limitlessly ecstatic. So be it.